So for today's recipe, I wanted to share with you that this is a lighter creme brulee. If you want a richer creme brulee, use a little bit less heavy whipping cream. But again, experiment. I've tried several different ones. I do like this one. It is a little light for me. I do like it a little richer than this, but it still came out wonderful. Experiment. Try different things. I want to try a lemon zest in my creme brulee and an orange zest in my creme brulee. Try different things, experiment, have fun. I wanted to share with you what I do to the sugar I use for my creme brulee. I cut open a fresh vanilla bean, make sure it's fresh, and I get some sugar, and what I do is I pour that into my mixer and I puree the sugar, and then I put my vanilla bean in it. You can use this for later times, like for cookies or for cakes, but I use this specifically now for my creme brulee. It smells wonderful and it's really great to use. So give it a try. I really hope you like it. This is my recipe for creme brulee. This is a lighter recipe. So what you're going to have is just 5 eggs, 4 yolks, 1 whole egg. You're going to have 3/4 cups of sugar. This is the sugar I just made with the vanilla bean, 2-quart pan, and a strainer. Make sure it's clean, dry. I like to use 2 3/4 cups heavy whipping cream. No milk, no half and half, and 1 whole vanilla bean. A 2-quart glass bowl to mix your eggs, and a large baking pan. Let's get started. Let's go ahead and cut our vanilla bean open. This is to add into our cream. And we're going to get the vanilla beans out of here, and we're going to put the heavy whipping cream on the stove top, 2 3/4 cup on a medium heat. Once this is here, we're going to go ahead and add our vanilla beans, our 1 whole vanilla bean to 2 3/4 cups cream, and let's let this simmer again to a medium heat just until it rumbles, not a full boil. We don't want to burn anything. I also like to use the vanilla bean skin that I scraped because it has just as much flavor to infuse this cream. It's really, really great and an easy recipe to make. Give it a little stir. Preheat your oven to 325 degrees with your pan and water. I make a side pot of water just so I have enough water for my pan when I put my ramekins in the oven. Our cream is just getting warm, and we're going to let it sit here just until it starts to, just before the boil, just a low rumble, and then we're going to go ahead and take it off and let it slightly cool. Give it a little mix for now so that vanilla bean kind of breaks up and incorporates with that cream while it heats, just to intensify that flavor. You don't want to add a lot of bubbles to this or foam to the top, so just a little mix. Mix your 3/4 cup sugar with 4 egg yolks and 1 whole egg. Whisk it briskly, mix it up really good. Try to get all the sugar incorporated as much as possible. What we're looking to do is try to get the sugar evaporated as much as possible and mixed thoroughly until the yellow changes to a palish yellow and then a creamy texture with this. You'll also notice the vanilla beans I have in there from my sugar. Don't worry, I'm going to be filtering this all out, so we have none of that in there. Cream is starting to boil. Now that it's boiling, just a tad, I'm going to take it off the heat. It's okay if it boils a little bit. We're going to let that sit for a few minutes. Let's get that vanilla bean incorporated with that. Cream's still hot. I'm going to go ahead and remove those extra bean pods I put in here. Throw those in the garbage. So I'm going to give that one last mix here. And then what we're going to do is we're going to temper these. And by tempering these, I'm going to pour a little bit of this hot cream into my eggs, and we don't want it to turn into scrambled eggs. Now, good thing to do is I put a wet paper towel underneath here. It actually helps grip the bowl so it's not all over the place. So we're going to go ahead and get started. And we're going to just do a little bit at a time. So a little bit. Give it a good mix. A little bit more. So I'm going to The more cream or the more you put in here, the faster you can go. So. All that vanilla bean, everything is still going in here. A lot of recipes, they filter it before they put it in here and then they mix this. I want all that bean flavor. I want all that bean flavor in here for right now. So I'm gonna go ahead and mix this a little slow. I got some bubbles on there, but this has been sitting just for another minute or two. I'm gonna show you now the filtering part. And all I do, I'll use a measuring glass so I can then pour. I'm gonna go ahead and put my filter on there. Get yourself a handy dandy rubber spatula, and what we're gonna do now is pour this and filter it. So don't be shy, just pour it all in. Get all that vanilla bean in there. Get as much as you can, because this stuff's good. All right. So now, there's one filter. I'm gonna double filter my creme brulee. So I'm going to now fill my ramekins, and here's the pan that I preheated with hot water. So let's go ahead and fill these up now with our creme brulee. We're gonna put our creme brulee in here. We're gonna filter it again, and then we're gonna put them in our pan that has been preheated with hot water. And then here is my pan with more hot water. So let's get this going. And I'm gonna fill this almost to the top. I'm just gonna leave it. I may get 5, I may get 6. It's hard for me to get 6. It depends on how much you cook that creme brulee on the stovetop. So I've actually got 6 plus a whole big one. This may not fit in our water bath, but let's go ahead and get these in. Place them all in the baking pan and make sure the water is at least halfway up each of the ramekins. Now they're ready to go into the oven at 325 degrees. But before they do that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to get rid of some of these bubbles on top, because that can affect how your brulee cooks, your creme brulee cooks, and how you brulee the sugar. So you get a big bubble while cooking, it will crack your creme brulee. Or if that bubble is still there after it cooks and you try to put your sugar on, it'll kind of burn in that area and just look weird. But we're going to get rid of these bubbles and throw them in for about 25 minutes, and we're going to check for a little wobble in the center. It's been about 30 minutes. We're going to go ahead and check them. Looking good. We're going to give them the old wobble test. All right, you see how they're just kind of wobbling in the center? Perfect. Time to take them out. To take my creme brulee out of the oven, I use this. I don't pick up the pan. I don't trust myself enough not to spill water. And I can get right underneath. And I don't want to drip water on any of the other ones. So I'm just going to kind of let it drip off, go around. And we're going to pull it on our stove. And I'm not going to bore you with the other 5. Once out of the oven, after about 35 minutes at 325 degrees, we want to take them out. And we want to get them to room temperature. Once you take them out of the oven, go ahead and check. You should have like a little wobble in them in the center. What will happen once they start cooling, they'll cool down all the way and cook to the center. Again, once they're room temperature, go ahead and put them in the fridge no less than 4 hours. Once you're ready to eat it, what I recommend is take it out of the fridge, brulee it, put it back in the fridge for about 10-15 minutes, and then enjoy. So our creme brulee has been in the refrigerator for now more than 4 hours. And now comes the best part, is the brulee. But I'm going to add a little ingredient on one of them that I personally like. Let's get to it and you'll see what that is. So here's one of our creme brulees. Just over 4 hours in the refrigerator. And what I want to do now is brulee this. This is my favorite part. I'm going to add a little ingredient first. And I add this first. What this is just a touch of espresso grinds coffee. Now I just just a very tiny bit. I like this flavor. I like to let it sit on there for just a moment, kind of let it sit in there, because I don't put this on top of the sugar because this will burn. So I'm going to go ahead and put a nice spoonful of sugar on here. All right, and just a little bit more. And then I'm going to kind of swirl this around the dish, make sure I get a good coating everywhere. Nice even coating. You don't want to put too much of this on. You don't want to put too much sugar on. It's going to, once you caramelize it, it'll get too thick and it'll be too hard and too crunchy. All right, so that's just about perfect. It's nice and even. And we're gonna go ahead and brulee this. Get yourself one of these. You can go to Amazon, you can go to Target, Walmart. Just be careful. This is not a safety video, but once you don't touch it, don't touch the fire, and don't touch this once you're done cooking or bruleeing. So let's go ahead and get started. Don't get too close and don't stay in one place too long. Heat it up gradually all over. Slowly but surely. I just take little circular motions. Back and forth. Of course, you stay in one spot too long, you're going to burn it. Now, I do like a little bit of burnt area, kind of. Not burnt, but a little brown, charred. Around these edges. And once this is done, once I get it bruleed to my liking, I'm going to put this back in the fridge to cool off. A little coffee. That coffee will burn real quick, so you can add anything you want to these recipes. I'm going to actually try a little lemon zest to add to this creme brulee recipe. But there you go. Let's put it in the fridge, and then we'll go ahead and take it out in about 10 minutes. All right, so our creme brulee has been in the refrigerator for about 15 minutes now. Look at that. That's what you want to hear. That's what is so, this is so good. Let's just see how this custard came out. This is what you're looking for. This needs to be creamy. Shouldn't be any texture there. It should be just a soft cream, very velvety, very velvety, very creamy custard. And I hope you really enjoyed this video, and good luck on making this. Have patience. If you have any questions or even better ideas, let me know. But this, so good. I'm gonna go eat more, lots more. Actually wanted you to see my face when I ate this. So I'm gonna show you how delicious this is. Creme brulee is the best.